What's going on, guys? Welcome to my world of Final Fantasy boss battles plus the final boss. So it's going to be 4 battles and then the final boss for a total of 5 bosses. So I'm just going to pretty much explain to you guys how to beat each boss and the final boss. And, you know, what to bring, what level you should be, how to prepare, etc, all that good stuff. So the first fight, well, pretty much what you want to do before you fight the bosses, you want to get Flare. To get Flare, you have to do one of the intervention quests. You just go to the girl that doesn't remember her name, do the Bahamut. Well, you have to do it anyways. Just beat Bahamut, and you get the Flare Mirror Jewel. That's going to help out a lot. And then, of course, you want to make sure that you make your Lon a magic person. Pretty much, I've been saying that throughout the whole game. That really helps out a lot because you do fight Sigwarius one-on-one. So making Lon a magic person helps out a lot. So you also want to make sure you have ultimate focus plus faith. Of course, you get ultimate focus early if you're using the floating eye. And then you can get faith numerous ways, certain mirages, or you just use the faith mirror jewel like I did. I believe you can get it from the death sentence mirage. So he does use disaster first, which sucks because it casts doom on me automatically. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to use faith, of course. And then right after I'm going to use haste because I need to get turns a lot quicker since he did cast doom on his first turn. Usually, sometimes he doesn't. If he doesn't, you can just, you know, not even worry about casting haste. But I have to since he did cast doom on first turn. So now after the faith, I'm going to activate my ultimate focus. So pretty much when I use magic, it's going to hurt him significantly. So now I got that out of the way. Now I'm going to use Flare, which is going to do a lot of damage, over 10k. And then I'm going to be forced to use a high ether potion so I can get my AP back up to par. Yeah, so he doesn't really hurt, to be honest. You'll have time to kill him. You just have to be really quick, especially if you're playing on ATB mode. So now I have to use, I use Aurora because I was scared that I wouldn't be able to pull it off later, so it was a quicker spell, and it cost less, so I was able to get the flare off just in time. My doom just hit 0, and I was able to kill him, luckily, because it was very close. The animation was shorter for Aurora, that's why I did use it before I did flare. Luckily, I did have enough. So now I got him out the way. Now we're going to take down Pellinor. Take her down. So against her, it's going to be easy because we have rain. So you're just going to use the strength method. Just use strength and you'll be fine. I'm going to use bravery. That's going to help out a lot. We're going to do a shit ton of damage. Of course, it's going to make this fight a lot easier since I do have counter with my baby Behemoth. And again, I'm going to use haste because it's going to help out significantly. It's going to end the fight a lot quicker. So nice counter there. Just going to use horn, do a shit ton of damage. Sometimes she will use freezing dust. It will hurt a little bit, but nothing to be afraid of. Just take the damage and just continue on. Nice damage there. So long as you kill her fast, you shouldn't have nothing to worry about. Nice critical hit there, of course. So just gonna keep this up. I did use a potion. Not really sure why I did, but honestly, well, the reason why I did use a potion is because what happens is every time you kill a boss in this phase, in this sequence, your HP doesn't get replenished. So that's also a tip I have for you guys too as well. So make sure that you heal your characters up, because you're gonna have to fight her again. So when you do fight her again, you want to make sure that you have a certain amount of HP, because if you're too low, they'll just throw you in the battle with low HP and you can die very quickly. But I'll be honest with you, they do give you time to heal or whatever, because they do put your characters up on the top of the bar first. So even on ATB mode, you know, you'll still have time to heal or whatever, but just don't be too slow. So now this is going to be boss fight 3. So if you need to heal since you have the time. So I healed Lon because I had to. Now I'm going to use High Ether on him. So pretty much in this phase, what you're going to do is use magic. And then I'm going to finish off the fight with the Lightning Champion. And that should, you know, end the fight very, very, very quickly. Of course, I'm going to use Faith and Ultimate Focus. Going to use the Flare combination. And then I throw in a Aurora in there too as well. So, but overall though, magic is going to be your best friend. And then like I said, throw in a champion or so. It doesn't have to be the lightning one, but just make sure you have a champion star or two, because you fight Brandalus next after this. So, and then of course his final form, because Flare does some nice damage, so make sure you just keep that that combination up. So she's going to use Try Disaster here. It does, you know, it's going to hurt a little bit because I'm already low on HP anyway, so you know that doesn't help. So yeah, it hurts a little bit. I'm going to use Flare again, get that little nice damage there. Blizzaga, that hurt my lawn, but luckily I was able to heal him. Not really sure why I used Kira. Probably better off using an X potion there. That's what I should have done. Being cheap, I guess. Luckily the Blizzaga doesn't do that much damage. I'm going to throw Aurora in there, do some nice damage, and then finish it off with a Lightning Champion.
Lon, Rain, you need me?
Alright, you guys, now it's Brandalus. So what you're going to do with this fight is he's pretty much going to be the same like you fought him the first time. He's going to have auto haste. So what you're going to do is you're going to use haste to try to, you know, get some turns in there quick, because of course slow does not work. He is immune to it. Oh yeah, and also not going to use spell stones. You're actually going to fight him, but what you're going to do first is use a mega potion as quickly as you can. You should at least have a couple. They will give you a, you know, your turn first, so you can heal, because your HP carries over. So however much you have during the last fight, that's how much you're gonna have during this fight. And then after that, use Ultimate Focus, use Faith to get your magic up, because you're going to be spamming magic for this fight. And then this attack doesn't do damage on my lawn, it does a little bit on my Rain. So with my stack, you will not take a lot of damage when he uses this attack. So I'm not really sure what element this attack is. Looks like fire to me, but that's my guess. Alright, using a Mega Elixir because I needed AP really badly. Using Faith. That hurt a little bit, but nothing to be worried about. So now using Flare, going to use a High Elixir. So just going to keep this up for a little bit. And like I said, remember to leave at least one star so you can use the Shantoto champion. I think I threw in a Roga in there. So that does some pretty nice damage. Use the X potion on Lon because I needed to. Abyss doesn't hurt Lon, which is good. using a high elixir. Should have used the should have had her use it, but the only reason why I did that because I used Petty Grudge. Should have took some more damage before I used it. That's why I didn't do so. That's why I didn't hit so high, because I used it too early. Just using flare here, get some nice damage off. Just using horn because now I'm going to use my champion Shantoto just to finish him off. It's going to do some great damage here. And then we're going to get to the final boss, and you guys will probably know why I will do there.
I'll deal with these bruisers, but you'll owe me, you losers.
Alright, now we're on to the final battle. So for this fight, you want to have Resist Confuse. That is going to help significantly because he has an attack that will confuse you and it will screw you over quick. So you get the Resist Confuse Mirror Jewel from the Lucky Toad. So if you can get 2 of the Resist Confuse, that will help out a lot. If you can only get 1, that you should be fine with 1. I used it on my Lon since I was going to use him throughout the battle anyways, just to use the flare technique. So you're going to spam flare this fight. You're going to use magic. Magic's going to be your best friend for this fight. No need for strength because that's going to be completely, utterly useless. So since my HP wasn't that low, I believe I used an elixir to get my AP up. I used ultimate focus on Lon. That's good. And then I decided, do I use Mega or do I use Turbo? Just use Turbo on Lon since I'm going to be using his AP a lot anyways. And then going to use Faith. So now I got my magic up to the highest, or I got my magic optimized now. To be honest, I probably could have used a haste stone, but I ended up using haste a little later. If you could sneak in a haste, that would help out significantly against this fight. But what I did use was, I did use a high elixir. Don't ask me why, I'm not really sure why I did that. Should have used the mega potion instead. But I was still able to get it off, which was significantly fine. So now I'm using a haste stone. It's going to help out a lot. Going to use the flare technique now, and then when it's Rain's turn, just going to use the high elixir. So almost do 8k points of damage, which is really, really good against this fight. I'm gonna get another flare off. Just gonna keep this up. And you can't use champions for this fight either, they're disabled. So I'm going to use a turbo elixir. I had to since using a high elixir wasn't going to recover enough, so I could use flare. So as you guys can see, he's almost dead. Gotta use turbo again. And it seems like he gets his turn faster every time his HP gets lower and lower, so let that be a lesson too. You gotta be really, really, really careful, especially playing on ATB mode. He gets his turn very quick, so you gotta look out for that. So now he's almost dead. He uses Blizzaja, or whatever, however you say that. If you want to use Shiva, you can always bring her with you to be safe. And then I did use Karaja, which helped out Rain and Lon, and then of course use the X potion just to be safe on Lon. So got HP back up to full. Chaos Pulse did a good amount of damage on Rain, and as you can see, it's very scary that he's getting his turn so quickly. So that attack is the attack that confuses, so watch out. And can seal you as well, and it just really can just really screw you over. So luckily I didn't get too screwed over. As you can see, he doesn't have that much HP. I'm going to use, I believe, a remedy. Gonna use it on Rain here. Vandaja, that hurts a lot. But luckily he did hit Lon and not my Rain. Not sure if she would have died or not. Remember how I told you guys you can get screwed over in this fight. I was not kidding. So he uses Chaotic Impulse, and I got very lucky here because he completely misses my Lon. So I got super lucky. If he would have hit him, he would have died. My Rain would have been fine because she's got Last Stand. I did use a Petty Grudge since he did hit me a lot, so that's why I used Petty Grudge at the end, because Petty Grudge pretty much depends on how much damage you take. I don't know the exact formula, but you take a certain amount of damage and that damage grows, as long as they're not resistant to dark. So that's how you take down Brandulus. Hopefully that helps you guys out. Hope you guys enjoyed, and I will see you guys later.